there's so much that you want to complete in the summer months, especially in the northern states. I feel like because your summer season is short, it doesn't last long. If you're living down south, you kind of can have that summer feel all year round, no matter what the month is. But here it's like everybody wants to take advantage of the summer months and of the sunshine and of the beautiful weather. But at the same time, like, you can't just stop working and stop your life to just, go out every night or hit the water every day, hit the lakes. Like, you obviously, we all have, like, you got more bills, and as you get older, more and more bills get stacked on top of those bills. So you got to, work to pay those bills. But what is your thoughts on, like, balancing everything this summer, and how are you planning on kind of managing that?
Yeah, how to balance it. So, I don't know if you know who this is. There's this guy named Jocko Willing. And
is he the Navy SEAL?
Yeah, big Navy SEAL guy.
4 a.m. guy.
Yep. He was talking, he's got a podcast, he was talking about something like this, and he was saying how, like, as you get older, responsibilities and bills stack up and stack up and stack up.
Of course.
And you realize that you can't give 100% to everything. Meaning that, like, so assuming everyone sleeps at least 6 hours a day, hopefully it's more, but you basically got 18 hours a day, right? You can't go all in 18 hours into one thing. Like, you can't go 18 hours into your job if you have a family. You can't go 18 hours into your family if you have a job. You can't go 18 hours into working out. You can't go 18 hours into you kind of have to go 20, 50, whatever the balance is. You got to spread your day out, spread your time out. So yeah, how do you balance, especially if you're picking up more work for the summer, but you want to travel? I would say prioritize, like, whatever you haven't been able to touch on over the winter, maybe try to touch on that over the summer. What do you think?
Prioritizing, I think, is a big stepping process into organizing these next couple of months. I already have so I'll be back at the club this summer where I was last summer. We had a blast working there. We worked a lot of hours, and we're going to work a lot of hours again this summer. So I at least have some background knowledge going into this summer based on how last summer went. And I have things that I want to change and do differently with balancing my quote unquote summer job at the club and then everything else that I'm working on. So prioritizing, know the days that you're working, know the days that you have off, know the hours that you're working, know the hours in those days that you have off. Like, there's days when I go in later and days when I go in earlier and whatnot. But staying on a consistent sleep schedule, waking up at a consistent time, and then prioritizing, like, okay, I'm going to be at the club for 14 hours today working a double. I got that. But then, let's say my days off Tuesday, Wednesday, I'm going to prioritize. I'll have something that I will want to get done checked off my list, like on my personal project list on my days off. And if I can check stuff off on those days off, like every day off I have, maybe it might be like a couple hours spent on this, a couple hours spent on that. But if I can prioritize, have a list, be able to check things off and go throughout the summer like that, I feel like I'll be a lot more efficient than I was last summer. Because last summer I kind of just had it like, I knew what I had to do, but I felt like it was overwhelming because I didn't break it down. So I feel like if you break it down day by day, step by step, it makes it a little bit easier and more efficient to flow through your list.
So some people kind of break their days out literally by the hour. It's kind of as tedious as counting calories. Is that what you plan to do, or is it just kind of day by day or hour by hour?
No, not necessarily hour by hour. I do. I have counted calories. I feel like for like the last probably 2 years, I've been consistently counting calories for the most part. I would say like 90% of that time. It is very tedious, and sometimes gets annoying because you don't want to always just be doing that. But no, I don't plan on doing it hour by hour, but I do plan on it like week by week for sure, and maybe day by day. But have that day next day, and like your week list. And if you can get those done, and you don't have to like necessarily make it hour by hour, because you might have some hours where it's like something comes up, you got to do something. So it's like, okay, like,
Right.
work that into your schedule. But if you can kind of look at it week by week, if you go out too far from that, then it gets kind of crazy. But if you stay within the week and within, the 3-day span or whatever, I feel like you can kind of get through your list as time allows for those couple of days.
Yeah, it's like you said, there's just too much randomness to life. You don't know what's gonna pop up, and that could throw you off your whole week. But definitely looking day, like whenever I wake up, and I have a calendar obviously, so I know events I have to do and I have a to-do list, but I don't have like a day by day or week by week breakdown. I just kind of go, I know when I wake up, I know what I have to do that day. I get as much of it as I can. And then the next day I know what I have to do. And same thing every week. Every week I kind of know what I have to do based on what I got done the last week, based on events, stuff like that. So yeah, it's a good breakdown.